Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. I appreciate you. I am Tiffany Renee, and this is Fame with Tiffany Renee, Freedom of Artistic Means of Expression. This is a safe space for all people where we discuss spirituality, metaphysics, quantum physics, universal laws, and how we can utilize them to help call forth things in our life that we desire. Please hit the like, share, subscribe button if the spirit moves you. I am just chilling today. I've kind of been inspired to just make videos since I really don't seem to make them as often as I would like to. And so I'm inspired today by this rainy Saturday afternoon. And we are not glam. We are literally lazing around in bed, which is something I never make videos like this. Like, I just don't. But today, I said it's fine, you know. So, if you see me in the same outfit a couple times today, is because I've been recording these videos all today and like uploading them for you all. Just trying to get more content up. So today, well, in this particular video, I want to talk about one of the universal laws. It is the universal law of assumption. And also, you know, just throwing this out there, like I said before, this is a safe space, so no negative Nancy's. We don't need any hateration, holleration in this dancery. We just want to create a loving environment for all people. Okay, so no negative Nancy's. Okay, back to the video. I want to talk about the universal law of assumption. There are several universal laws that govern the entire universe, the vast, vast universe. And there's like 12 main ones. And I talked a little bit about them in the previous video. And one of them is the universal law of assumption. The universal law of assumption, in, I guess, basically in a nutshell, is just that. Whatever you assume to be true is true. Whatever you expect to be true, or whatever you expect to happen, or whatever you expect to experience, that's what happens. Now, I've had this conversation with, certain friends of mine, things like that, and the question always comes up like, well, no, that's not true, because there's evidence to support what I'm saying. Like, so obviously it's happened. It's happening to other people. It's happening in other parts of the world. Obviously it's true. So no, that what you're implying doesn't make sense. But here's the catch to that, or the caveat, is that nothing is just is. Okay? Nothing, how do I put this? Nothing exists just for the sake of existing. Like, everything that we experience wasn't here on earth already. So our life experiences are things that were believed in. It came from someone's imagination, someone's thoughts, someone's ideas, and the universal laws obliged. Like, the universe does not discriminate. It doesn't care who you are. It doesn't care what your intentions are. It doesn't care if you're using this power, if you're harnessing it for things that are going to be of service to yourself and to of your fellow man, or if it's going to be of service to self and detrimental to your fellow man. It's completely unbiased. Like, it doesn't care. It's just responding to your vibration. It's responding to your energy. It's responding to what you already believe to be true, or what you believe to be possible, or whatever you have faith in that will come about. That is how things come to pass. Even the most horrible, the darkest ages of human history didn't just happen because it didn't exist during creation, right? It happened because somebody imagined Someone imagined a particular outcome that would serve them. And I guess the path of least resistance, based off of their own personal beliefs and biases or whatever, in the way that the world was filtered through their eyes, causing these horrible things, was the path of least resistance for them to get what they wanted. It was still a deliberate manifestation nonetheless, right? So, all that to say, everything is what we say it is. What we believe to be true is what is true. It does not matter how big or small. It doesn't matter if it's about love and your relationships and your dynamic with other people. It doesn't matter if it's about your job. It doesn't matter if it's about your health, about medicine, about the economy, about global issues, about the rainforests, about animals. It does not matter. And you can say, well, Tiffany, look at all the evidence to support, WXYZ. You know what I'm saying? Right. There is evidence to support it because there's people who believe it. And if you believe it, you can only receive or be aware of evidence to support what you already believe to be true, even on a subconscious level. Even if you don't know that that's what you believe, it's still emanating a vibration. Your subconscious still vibrates out, and it's still bringing you what you believe to be true, whether you're consciously aware that you believe it or not. I'll give you an example. Okay, I talk about concerts all the time, right? Multiple videos, you can see how I talk about my concert experiences. I even, talk about how I started manifesting front row seats to concerts. There was a time when that did not apply to me. There was a time when I literally had the strongest belief system that the only people who were able to get concert tickets were people who were rich, who had rich parents, who can max out their credit cards, people who were not of the same race as myself because I wasn't privileged enough to do stuff like that. Like all these different lies. That's really what they are. Just ridiculous limiting beliefs supporting the fact that I didn't think I was good enough to get front row seats. That just didn't apply to people like me, right? People who didn't have a lot of money, blah, 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 blah. I developed that belief system based off of observation. Just because of maybe the certain type of people or some of the rich kids or kids that were more spoiled or whatever, who got whatever they wanted, seemed to be the ones that always got front row and backstage and all this other stuff because someone had the hookup or someone had a lot of money who could pay the thousands of dollars sometimes for these meet and greets and concert tickets or whatever. And I thought because I don't have access to those type of resources, then I can't possibly have that experience. That was based on my own observation, which made it true for me. And I'm like, okay, well, I can give you evidence to support the fact that people like me who don't have a lot of money or people who, were struggling financially or people who whatever didn't have rich parents or whatever, don't get these opportunities. Here's all the evidence to support that. And the truth of the matter is, the evidence was there after I believed it to be true. Then the evidence showed up, right? So I decided to change that in 2019. And I decided to tell myself there was a particular show I wanted to go to. I think I did a video about it. And I just, in that moment, I said, okay, law of attraction says I can be, do, or have whatever I want. Let's put this to the test right now. This is the seat I want. It said on Ticketmaster that someone already had this seat. I said, I don't care. That is my seat. I'm going to buy another seat that I wouldn't be mad at having, but this is my seat right here. And if you go back and watch that video, and it was the video when I went to go see Charlie Wilson, Babyface, and Joe, and I tell that entire story. And I acted as if, using Neville Goddard's technique, I acted as if I already had that particular front row seat ticket in the center stage. And I got to the venue And they had to move my original ticket. They had to move me somewhere else. And then I asked, just out of curiosity, you wouldn't happen to have any front row seats left? And she was like, actually, we do. The promoter just released some. And I was like, okay, great. Because it was heavily discounted. The price had dropped because it was like an hour before showtime. And I asked like which seat it was. Because I remember I told the universe, okay, I want seat F row 1, seat 28. Okay. And she said, okay, looks like it's F1 row 1, seat 29. I had manifested the seat right next to the one that I wanted. It didn't exist. Do you see what I'm saying? But it existed once I changed my mindset and changed the story and changed my assumption from being someone who assumed that I could not get these type of seats and have these type of experiences when the entertainers are singing to me and whatever, throwing me their sweaty towels or whatever. I changed that to where I assumed that I was that person. And it happened that night at that particular show. Ever since then, the show, any event I want to go to can be completely sold out for days, months. Okay? A front row seat will still come available. I've just done this year. Just in September alone, I manifested 2 front row seat tickets to concerts that were sold out. Pretty much. At least the front row seats sold out for months. Some since last year. Okay, when they had to postpone all the concerts for COVID. So it's whatever you assume to be true is what's true. And that is about everything. If you want to be in a relationship, okay, and you assume that let's say, you like men and you keep saying that all men ain't nothing. All men are poop, right? All men ain't worth nothing, right? All men suck. All men are lazy. All men just try to use people. All men don't know how to take care of themselves. All men are dirtbags and lazy, and they want women to nurture them and take care of them, but they just want to play. Men don't know how to commit, blah, 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 right? That is your assumption. And you can argue and say, which this is what the ego will do. It'll say, nah, because my daddy was like that. My uncle was like that. My exes were like that. My brothers were like that, or whoever. So-and-so's husband was like that, and so-and-so's boyfriend was like that. And you will give me all the reasons to justify why you feel that men ain't worth a damn, right? Based on what you've experienced in your life, based on what you've seen. But if you really think back, right, that seed was planted somewhere. Men weren't created just not being worth a damn, just like that. Like, that's just not how the creator made us, right? So let's say an experience did happen and you had a bad relationship. You have one or two options. You can take that relationship and just take it as a lesson learned. It didn't work for whatever reason. Okay, I'm going to learn from this. I'm going to grow from this. And I'm going to find a person. I'm going to find a great guy. There's millions of men on this planet. I only need one. Okay, I'm good. I will find someone else. And you just leave it alone. Okay, what are you projecting out into the future? You're creating the assumption, right, that even though you may not currently see evidence that there is a good man out there for you, you are stating that you know that there is, even if you don't necessarily have any experience with having a good relationship with a good guy. So you've projected out into the future through the law of assumption. You've projected that you expect good men to show up in your life because you know there's good men out there. Your relationship just didn't happen to work. And you're not going to take that particular relationship and use it as a means to define every relationship you have going forward. That's one choice you have. Or you can use that one experience, maybe even a couple of maybe failed relationships that you had with men, whether they were romantic, whether they're with your father, maybe with your uncle, with your whatever. And you will take that and just use that to define how all men are. And you project that into the future, and you define all men to be ain't worth a damn. And then the universe has to bring you evidence to support that, because you're always right. You're always right. There is no wrong answer, because everything is whatever you say it is. It's whatever you assume it to be. If you want to take some medicine and, Rhonda takes the medicine, or Rhonda doesn't trust medicine, and she's like, I've tried that, or my auntie did that, or, I had that before, or my cousins or sisters, and it, gave, I don't know, whatever, did something. It gave them cystic acne, or, they said that there's something in there that will, I don't know, turn your face green or something, like whatever, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the reasoning is for Rhonda to have come from a fear-based mindset of this medicine, that's Rhonda's prerogative. She can choose to have that. And she's telling you, don't take it, right? You have one or two options. You can believe Rhonda and say, you know what? I don't like that. You're right. I'm not going to take it because I don't want those issues happening to me. Okay. Since you've accepted that assumption for yourself, you are now going to experience all of the evidence to support how bad that medicine is. It's going to show up everywhere in your life. It's going to be on TV. It's going to be on your social media. You're going to meet people who took it, who had bad experiences, because you've decided, right? You've decided that it's bad. It's bad medicine. However, if you say, you know what, Rhonda, I'm sorry that you had that experience, but I know everybody is different and everybody's body is different. And I'm going to try it because I believe that it's going to work for me. I believe that it's going to help me be healthy. And I'm going to take this medicine, and I'm trusting that everything I put in my body is nurturing my body, period. So you've now decided that, contrary to what other people are saying, that don't apply to me. This medicine is going to work for me. It is going to help me. And because you've decided that, the universe is like, you're absolutely right. And the universe will therefore bring you all the evidence to support how this medicine is helping people. And you're going to start being helped by it, because you now assume, you expect it to work, right? So I hope all of this is making sense. It's whatever you expect. That's the law of assumption. It's all about your expectation. If you are going to the cookout and you have that one auntie who cuts up sometimes, and you always expect her to cut up, there will never be a cookout where she doesn't cut up. But if you start saying, you know what, I love Auntie Evelyn or whatever, and she's not going to cut up no more. She's got her wits about her, and she's going to start acting polite and loving, period, at these cookouts. And she's actually going to be a lot of fun. If you start telling that story, even if you don't see it immediately on the first next cookout, or maybe even the second or third, I guarantee it is still working. And maybe by the fourth cookout, Auntie Evelyn's going to start being a little more tame, a little more mild. And then you're going to start noticing changes in Aunt Evelyn. She ain't cutting up no more. Why is she not cutting up anymore? She's not cutting up anymore because you've decided that she's not. You stopped expecting her to cut up, so she's not cutting up anymore. I know sometimes it could be, for some people, a hard pill to swallow, because that means you have to take accountability. You have to take accountability for every decision that you make, because everything is a decision. Everything is a decision. Every thought that you think, you're deciding, because things are just things. They mean nothing until you define them. Money is just money. A $5 bill is simply a $5 bill, and it does nothing. It can do nothing unless you decide that it can do something. You decide that it means something, so then it can do something, right? So like literally every single thing in your life It just is until you say that it's something else. That really is what the law of assumption is. It's your expectation of life. If you expect the world to be a horrible, cruel place and that it's going to hell in a handbasket, you are literally going to see easily nowadays, you are going to see all of the evidence that you can possibly take to support how horrible and scary and terrible the world is. Easily. The universe is going to make sure that you see it because that's what you expect. And you can say, well, I expect it because it's true. No, you expect it because you've either accepted an assumption about it from somebody else, or you allowed certain circumstances that took place in one particular point in time to dictate how you think the world is going to be in the future. You projected that out into the future. And so now you're getting evidence of that. You're getting evidence of what you already projected out in the future to expect. And the universe is bringing it to you. You go to the restaurant and you order food. You have an expectation of, you expect it to come out made properly. You order chicken. You're not expecting salmon to come. And it can't. They can't send you salmon and you order chicken. You order chicken. You expect chicken to show up. Because you expect the chicken to show up, the chicken shows up. That's how the world is. Like, that's just how the creator made the universe. That's how the laws work. Whatever you expect to happen will happen in some capacity, whether it happens to you, someone close to you, whether you see it on the news, whether you see it on social media. Whatever you expect to happen happens. Whatever you expect about a group of people, you're going to see evidence of that, whether it's positive or negative. Whatever you expect about the economy, you're going to see it, whether it's positive or negative. Whatever you expect about humanity, you're going to see it, whether it's positive or negative. Whatever you expect about any aspect of your life, any aspect of your experience, anything within the realm of possibility for you, anything that you believe is possible that even could happen, whether it's positive or negative, if you expect that, it will show up. It has to. Everything you have in your life, every experience you have in your life, it's happening because you expect it to happen. Even people who don't, let's say, don't have like really any issues with their lungs or with their breathing or anything like that. We breathe because we expect the next breath to come, and it manifests. That's how we breathe. Because we expect the next breath, and we expect the next breath. We don't expect to have trouble breathing if you don't have any reason to fear not being able to breathe for some reason. So you don't even think about it. It's on default. You breathe off of default. But it's still in here because your subconscious is running your lungs. And it's operating from a place of you expecting to always breathe. There's your next breath. Okay. Everything is an expectation. Everything. So I hope this video helped. I hope it helped inspire you and empower you to know that if something is happening in your reality, in your life, in your city, in your country, in your world that you just cannot get with, you do not have to subscribe to it anymore. You can unsubscribe yourself from it. As Amanda Francis would say, you can just say, I am unavailable for this type of negativity. And you can just be unavailable for it. You don't have to subscribe to it. You don't have to jump on the bandwagon of anything. If it's not feeding your soul, if it's not giving you peace and making you calm and getting you closer to your higher self, you don't have to subscribe to it. This is your life. Can't nobody dictate that to you. This is your life. You choose to dictate whatever it is that you want to see. And if you don't physically see it right now, see it in here, and then you will see it here. Set a new expectation. Set a new assumption. Use the law of assumption to your benefit. Call forth the things that you do not see but want to see as if they're already here. Call them forth. They're out there in the Akashic records. They're out there in the quantum field. Okay, that's what's there. Bring it in. If you want world peace, call it in. If you want a happy relationship, call it in. If you want a dream job, call it in. And I'm talking to myself too. Call it in. All we have to do is call it in. Call it in and completely ignore any evidence that contradicts it. Period. Period. Stay focused, stay disciplined, be consistent. Your life will change. It'll be like magic. Trust me, because I've done it. I'm still doing it. Okay? Love you guys. I know this video was kind of long, but check it out. Do your own research on the law of assumption and just put it into practice. Start with something small and just see what happens. It'll blow your mind. Take care, everyone. Be blessed. Love you.